Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. West side, raise it up. 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 North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. The west side, raise it up. 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 Raise it up.
3, 2, 1.
Hey loves, hey loves, hey loves. My name is Wyann Vaughn. I also go by Y, and this is another incredible episode of Raise It Up Y, the podcast. We are coming at you the final Thursday of September 2025. Not the 21st night in September. Not that. The last Thursday in 2025's September. In an episode we are calling Wise Mind. Wise Mind. This will make more sense as we delve into the episode. To all of my love onlookers, wherever you can consume this podcast show, thank you for your non-refundable time and energy and eyes seeing the beauty that my team has put together in this beautiful landscape for us. All right. And if you are a listening love, special love to you for listening wherever this podcast can be consumed, because faith comes by hearing, and I haven't met a person who can unhear yet. If you are new to my space and you don't know that you are a part of the Wyann Vaughn sphere, if you will, the Raise It Up Y universe, if you will, you might not know if you are a love. The people who support this podcast it's a community called Love Culture. And by being a part of this, you, number one, root yourself by listening to Raise It Up Y, the podcast. 2, you do good for no good reason. That's a pretty big one that we really like around here. And number 3, you treat all red-blooded humans with love and respect. And what I know is that today, in this day and age, those are probably 3 really good canons for really good rules, really good ground rules to go by in life. I love that it's 12:50 a.m. And I say that breaking the fourth wall because that's the time that's been following me for like a year now. 12:50 p.m. a.m. every time, 1250. I mean, people have, like, you know how when they're about to pay you something, they have test paid me $12.50. Like, it's one of those, like, it happens in addresses. It's everywhere. So, that's me talking to Onette_Ashe right behind that particular camera there. She also owns a company that does these beautiful flower arrangements, not floweral, but flower/floral, right? Arrangements. We will talk about that at the end of the episode and the pay your dues. Let's say you're new here and you've never tuned into my space before. Raise It Up Y is where OGs kick game to real ones only. When we say raise it up, what is it? Your self-awareness, your vibration, and your capacity for love, which is knowledge. We raise those things up with non-corny positivity from the West Coast to the world, utilizing hip-hop culture. All right. If you had 3 spheres, one called therapy, one called education, and one called entertainment, and you mixed them in a bucket and poured them into a thick black chick from the West Coast, you would get me. Talk to her nicely when you speak to her at all, huh? So we are going to get into the 87th episode of this podcast. This podcast comes out once a month. So that is why there are 87 episodes only. I've noticed if you decide to do podcasts on things that are positive and educational, people want to hear about that less. But that's okay. I've been in education for over 20 years, so I'm pretty used to smart minds that can take only so much before they tune out. No matter how smart they are, it's just too much to listen to today, guys. Let's get ready to go up. We start every episode by grounding. Grounding is a therapeutic technique that separates the space or the type of time you was on before you consumed this podcast to where you are now. It's kind of giving some energy between, traffic that you might have come out of, a small fight that you may have been in, or just whatever ideation you might have had right before you tuned into this podcast. Let's just separate space, time, and energy by focusing you in here. And the grounding we do here is like a poem. I invite you to close your eyes if it helps you settle in, remove distractions, get really present. Take a moment. Be here with me. I want you to hear my voice. Feel your feet. And if you're there, wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness up and through your body. Touch your nose. And you're simply doing that to prove to yourself that you're here. Breathe a breath in. Blow a breath out. You have permission to do that again in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Take a moment. Own this. Baby, you are living. It's a miracle. It's called life. That you're breathing, you're winning. Just because you are living this life, just by spending this time with my voice right now, you are investing into your betterment. And I'd like you to sit with that and feel proud. Let's go up. I know that this is not the pay you dues section of the podcast, but it's in my brain flashing now. So I want to honor what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about, as you'll see from a couple of these raise 'em ups that we have tonight. Well, today, you guys are listening to this in the afternoon if you're listening to it when it comes out. Dr. Zeb at Zeb the Third 3RD on social media platforms has graciously invited me to his Los Angeles stop of his self-awareness podcast tour. Dr. Zeb is a doctorate of psychology degree holder, if I'm not mistaken, who tours around. He's humongous on TikTok and very, very large and in charge on Instagram as well. He has clients from all around the globe. I took a liking to his content and how honest he is. This is a segue. That honest portion will be a segue into the two bits that we have before the Wyann's words of wisdom. His honesty is staggering. And I say staggering because being a coach and not a therapist with the Behavioral Board of Sciences and things of the Board of Behavioral Sciences, allows, in my personal opinion, a little more wiggle room to throw your elbows around and practice this therapeutic thing that we do in this self-improvement space with a little more color, a little more zeal. And if there's anything I can say about Dr. Zeb, he has all of the zeal. He has all of the color. And it's because he doesn't pull punches, in my personal opinion. That level of honesty and reality is going to come up in this second Raise 'em Up as we get into this episode. And you'll see, if you guys don't know, I have about 5 segments of my podcast that I throw around, 2 of them any episode that I desire. And today I'm only actually doing 1 segment of my podcast, but twice. I've only done this a couple times in the podcast's history, but I'm doing a Raise 'em Up, which is where I get to entertain, and educate at the same damn time, with and to you all. And I have a Raise 'em Up 1 and a Raise 'em Up 2. And the Dr. Zeb staggering zeal, honesty, that's going to come up in Raise 'em Up 2. So I wanted to just front load you with that and let you all know that in California, Los Angeles, Glendale, California, to be exact, some of my students, my graduates, one of them is now attending USC in his master's program that I wrote his recommendation letter for, look, now I had to take some credit, right? My young man named Ryan, I think it's Ryan Taylor. That's his name on Instagram, but that's not the point. At IFB Studios is where we will be. I'm letting you know that we're doing that now. If any of my USC students, or even of any of my former students, from previous institutions where I've worked, whether it's 1500 Sound Academy or in Pasadena, if you all are hearing this, Dr. Zeb has graciously taken his price and slashed it by over half. And there's a $25 ticket for you all. If you're currently in my USC hip hop music and culture class, this will count for one of your live events. So now that I'm doing all this housekeeping, if you will, there's a portion of his space where we are going to intermingle the topics of self-awareness, which is the subject that we look at here on this podcast, as well as Dr. Zeb does in this particular podcast tour. We are going to commingle that with hip hop and where Dr. Zeb comes from, the world of faith. So if you are interested in the intersectionality of hip hop, faith, and self-awareness, please consider October 4th in Glendale, California at IFB Studios in order for you to be a part of a one-of-a-kind experience between Dr. Zeb and Wyann Vaughn, Professor Y, if you will. Yeah, so that was just like a random, I wanted to put that in the top of the episode so you all could consider, especially my students for a slashed price, could consider coming out to said event. I'm looking forward to it. Raise 'em Up number 1. Raise 'em Up number 1 is the episode's namesake, Wise Mind. Yes, this is a double entendre. Y'all know I'm an edutainer. Y'all know I don't play with my pen. I pick it up and write very well. Wow. As a artist, of course. WISE, Wise Mind, is a feature of something called Dialectical Behavior Therapy, which is a specific version of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And it was something that a coach of mine shared with me, and I wanted to share it with you all because it's a part of what's happening in my mind, aka Wise Mind, WY''S's mind, as she's learning how to move and groove at this gorgeous stage of life. Some of us are logic folks. Raise your hand if you're a logic folk. Wyanna is a logic folk, respectfully. Left brain, lefty for logic. I like facts and figures. All my Virgos should be running around happy that we're even talking about this right now. There are certain people who it needs to make sense, like make it make sense. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. For those of us in our left brain and in our logical minds, we kind of make decisions under this thing called reasonable mind in the world of dialectical behavioral therapy. And then you have folks who their heart lies on their sleeve. They are empaths, intuitive folks. They feel their way through life. And when they feel, they flow and they do as things kind of come to them. Energetically, they might be into something and then energy moves and then they go to something else. These are creative folks. This is right brain. This is art. Okay, this is the side of the brain that wants to, explore emotions and things of that nature, which is why very apropos this is called emotional mind. These individuals will make decisions based on how they feel. People like that scare the shit out of me, respectfully. Why? Because what do I know about feelings? They are fugacious. Feelings come, feelings go. You are going to have a tough go at life if you base your decisions, like your life big decisions, off of a feeling. Will also remind you, you're talking to a lefty logic kind of a brain, a reasonable mind. Here go to problem. Proglim, as my grandmother used to say. No, Whitney used to say that when she was learning how to talk. That's who it is. My bad. Let me not speak on my grandmother crazily. What happens is, by being a person who loves logic, what happens when we act like emotion doesn't exist is we live a very calculated, ice cold life. We have all of the answers figured out. We play by certain rules. We kind of arbitrarily make up certain perfectionistic ideations that say, this is how things have to go because I said so, meow. And here's the logic that goes along with it. And here's the research study. And this is what I know. And all of those good things. And we will be right and the fuck alone. Right? Right. So we have things that we can learn from these emotional folks. I don't know that I'll ever be the person that creates a life off of feelings that can change, because that feels too in the air. It feels too elusive for me. However, as you mature in your development as a person, I would hope that reasonable mind and emotional mind could coagulate, and where they overlap, that area is called wise mind. W-I-S-E, mind. Wise mind is when you synthesize emotions and reason. You recognize and respect your feelings while responding to them in a rational way. When I first started my 13 presents ... type of dealings, I used to say, I love with my brain and I think with my heart. I live life deliberately. That's Wyann on MySpace. That's Wyann at 23 years old. The year is 2005. I wrote my first book in 2008. And when I started all this 13 business, my first book of poetry was called 13. And I wrote that in 2008. This is over 20 years ago. And I bring that up because of the fact that, no, this is not over 20 years ago. 2008 is coming up on 20 years ago. Yeah, I just saw that in my head. I'm like, wait, girl, what you doing? No, the idea of all of that, though, still is I've always been an individual that recognized the heart wants what it wants, man. You do have to honor your heart. To an extent, you also have to follow your heart. And when I say to an extent, I only mean it in such a way that you have to follow your heart to where it is rational. There's that balance that has to come back to things. And in the same way, when something stops feeling good, it doesn't mean you quit. It means you find new ways to fall in love with it. Especially, what if the something is eating more healthily? Just because you don't feel like it doesn't mean it shouldn't get done. What happens when it's your house and it needs to be cleaned, or you're cleaning and uncluttering your space and cleaning house? It gets unfun quickly. The feeling of motivation might flee you. Do you leave your house a mess? Prayerfully, no. You learn to find other ways to stay in love with that process until the job is done. Integration is literally, I think, what the word yoga means, what it translates into. When you're integrating different parts of yourself, what you're learning to do is consider you fully. What Wyann is learning to do is considering Wyann fully. If you're always in your reasonable mind, you come off like a perfectionist. And when you come off like a perfectionist, you don't see the value in slowing down, getting a hug when life hurts, and saying, you know what? It's okay that I don't push myself to the limit today and every other day. I'm going to go ahead and gift myself permission to take a rest. That's the gift of rest, and the gift of telling yourself, hey, I'm going to slow down, is the antithesis of perfectionism. However, it's considering comfort, which is a part of your emotional mind. It needs to happen. That's considering the full you. If you, with your heart, are following a certain plan, and you know that you believe in it, and you know that it's good, and your heart, it says that this is a part of what you need to be, and now you're living in buku debt because you've been following your heart and your dream into something that's rendering you no profit. And every time someone in your circle sees you, they know that you're about to come with an ask, with a handout, because you don't recognize that all of your heart and your impulse and your knowing of everything that you think you want to do is also leaving you fruitless, is also making you some form of a liability to your circle. And because you're not considering, okay, hold on, I'm still an adult. I might have this dream to be an actor. I might have this dream to be a magician. Who knows? I might have this dream to be a model, plus size model, content creator, whatever you want to be. And I have bills, and I'm grown. I'm not 17, right? Considering that you're still an adult while you're still a dreamer is considering the full picture. All of these are examples of wise mind. When you integrate the reasonable mind with the emotional mind. An example, you get in a disagreement with your partner, you recognize how you feel, you ask how they feel, and you try to problem solve. I'm looking at a worksheet right now from my coach. That's exactly integrating logic, but also consideration for feeling. For all of my people who enjoy speaking your truth and owning your feelings and never returning to the relationship to make sure that you haven't considered yourself so much that you've abandoned the partner that you have in relationship. I don't care if it's a boss. I don't care if it's a friend. I don't care if it's a partner. I don't care if it's a person that you know in an acquaintanceship only. It might be someone at a store and you go off about your truth and you're this and you're that, and you negate the other half of that relationship. You are no longer in wise mind. You are in an emotional state. And if you try to rob someone of the opportunity to problem solve with you, you're just being a brat. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care where you're from, where you go, the shit you do, the way you done. None of it. Wise mind takes that emotionality and pairs it with logic. Like, I'm feeling my feelings right now. And you know what? I'll be able to return to this conversation in maybe 2 days. I just need a 2-day cool off period. But when I come back, I'll be prepared to have a conversation. Maybe it's not 2 days for you. Maybe it's a week. Maybe it's 1 day. But the reality is, if you aren't returning with dignity and respect and honor to that conversation with that relationship, then you're just being a big ass brat. Or you're stonewalling if you're doing it from a toxic place of seeking control and you have low self-esteem that you don't know about. Something like it. But the reality is, wise mind, not just my mind, but the wise mind is one that puts these things together and sees how logic and love can play to come up with the best possible scenario for a relationship to thrive and win, even if it's one intra-personally with you and yourself. That's Raise 'em Up 1. Raise 'em Up 2. Raise 'em Up 2. For this year on this podcast, we've been throwing episodes back to previous episodes that we've done, and this episode is no different. We are tossing episode 87 back to episode 86. We're not going back too far this time. We are just going to the episode that preceded this one, which was called Reality Check. Raise 'em Up number 2, we're talking about a concept called limerence. Limerence. I'm a whole ass trained therapist, and it took me to heal in 2025 to learn this word called limerence. Limerence, as Google's Dictionary of Oxford calls it, in psychology, it's a noun. It's the state of being infatuated or obsessed with another person, typically experienced involuntarily and characterized by a strong desire for reciprocation of one's feelings, but not primarily for a sexual relationship. I'll say that one more time. It's typically involuntary and characterized by a strong desire for reciprocation of the feelings that you have, not necessarily or primarily about sexual relationship, though. So what happens is you have 3 stages of this. Initially, you have infatuation. You're attracted to someone powerfully. It's either their intellect, their look, something about them, their talent. You end up having intrusive thoughts. You gain a sense of anxiety or euphoria thinking about them, people pleasing, fawning, wanting to be around them. Or you could even overanalyze yourself when you're with them. The second thing that you encounter is a crystallization period. You end up kind of being able only to see this person through rose-colored glasses. You idealize them rather, in such a way that they almost are perfect. And you have a heightened sense of emotion for being connected to this person. And your limerent object is all you can think about. It's all you care about, right? Then this thing calls for a reality check. Enter episode 86. And in that reality check, reality sets in, the halo effect and the rose-colored glasses begin to tarnish. You start to see the person's flaws and imperfections. And if you're really self-aware, you start to take ownership for how you have placed this person on a pedestal in some way, shape, or form. And you have what's called an emotional crash. Sometimes it's a lead to regret. Or rather, sometimes it's just having a more realistic view of yourself and the relationship with another person. So, limerence is some form of fantasy that happens in your ability to see a person. We do this with celebrities. We do this with crushes. We do this with our partners that we're in real relationship with sometimes, where we aren't actually relating to them, but rather we are relating to what they represent for us, about us, and to us, with them as a LO, a limerent object directly in front of us. And that's dope, but it's scary. It's scary because you can develop an entire false reality with this human that the limerent object never even knows it's a part of with you. So if one person in a relationship is living in reality and another person has decided to make you their everything, and anytime you're not living up to this random standard that you don't even know is being placed on you, you're getting all sorts of FUs and, oh, this person let me downs that you don't even know about, because the person who holds you limerently is not seeing you. They are seeing what about you represents something for them in their minds. It becomes this literal mind fuck, if you will. And you're trying to be in relationship with a real person and a real human. But because this happens, like the definition said, involuntarily, limerence is a reaction of a lack of self-awareness. It is a feature of a lack of self-awareness. Enter back in when I talked about Doc Zeb and how we're going to have this talk October 4th right here in sunny Los Angeles, California at IFB Studios. Self-awareness is the first tenet of this podcast. The self-awareness tour is what Dr. Zeb is doing currently. Why it's so important to understand you and be aware of you is because a lot of humans walk around with this perception of the earth, of people in the earth, of reality that says, man, niggas is fake, no new friends. You know, we started from the bottom, now we here. Circle gets smaller, everybody can't go. It's just me against the world. I was born alone, I'll die alone. I'll sleep when I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got to understand that I'm on a new level, and when I'm moving around, the world got to bend to how I'm doing because I'm a manifester and I do this and that. And I. My boy Andre Mago, who loves and listens to Marianne Williamson, would probably tell me right now, there's only ever one person in the room, really. So I understand how we get to this space of I. It's just me against the world. Everything comes back to me. I 1,000% understand that. Trust. When you grow up from only considering yourself, it's not that you don't still reside as the primary person in the room. But what happens is you expand your consciousness such that it can include folks with and around you. Example, having children. Having children is a physical representation of how you might consider yourself, but everything can't just be about yourself. Because if the feeling leaves you and you just stop taking that kid to the doctor, they're coming to your house. That's called physical neglect. And it is a form of child maltreatment that can get your kids taken away from you by a social worker like me, right? The idea of I'm only doing it because I feel it, and when I stop feeling it rationally, I'm no longer obligated to do it, is dangerous for situations like we talked about in Wise Mind in the first Raise 'Em Up. And it's dangerous in this realm of limerence, where if you are only connecting with people, with things through the filter of your own fantasy, you're not giving a person the opportunity to be understood, seen, learned, heard, experienced by you. And you damn sure aren't allowing the person a real glimpse at who they think they're loving, such that they could love you. It's almost like you're in a relationship with an actor, but no one's calling out action and cut. And you don't know that the person is on a stage, and you don't know that you're being put on a stage, and not just a stage, a pedestal on that stage. And the person isn't even doing it on purpose. It's all a matter of a lack of awareness. So why this is important refer back to episode 86's reality check. We need to be in touch with the things that keep us honest, transparent, real, authentic. Things that keep us transparent, authentic, real are going to be things that don't just keep every part of us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week running in our mind, whether it's Wise mind or Net's mind or anybody's mind. These aren't things that just keep us running in our minds. These are things that take us from the hamster wheel, relax us into our bodies, and help us understand where we actually just are. The grounding technique. Why do we breathe a breath in and blow a breath out? Because it's the most honest thing you'll do today. It's honest and it's real and it's yours. Onette can't breathe the breath for me. I can't breathe the breath for Onette. Onette can't breathe a breath for herself in 15 minutes from now. Nor can you experience breath from the version of you 15 minutes ago. Present, now, in real life. These are the types of reality checks that get you out of your mind into your body. Why is it important to work out? Not just because you're going to look good and be healthier physically. It's also a way to get you out of running scripts, running stories. Oh, she did that because she don't fuck with me. Da 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 da. Oh, that's crazy. When did you confirm that with her? Nah, I know bitches like her. Do you know her? I don't gotta ask her nothing because I already know. Nah, you don't get to do that one. I know he cheating on me. I know he cheating on me because I can feel it in my spirit, and I hear you. And sometimes intuition does download. So I don't doubt that. Trust me, I've experienced my share. And at the same time, show me your evidence. What talks have you had? What's going on when you actually do give a good question? Are you noticing something concretely that's happening outside of just your intuition, right? Because your feelings are real. Trust and believe. And if your feelings are that real, why ain't you done something about it? Be careful what you ask for, because once you know it, you're responsible for what you know. So if you want to know about it, hey, how you moving now? What's the vibe in real life? Or are we limerently going to keep this man alive and around us because he's serving some purpose for our ego? He's serving some purpose for our life that we haven't even let him know about. And that's why he's so valuable to keep around. Is it a limerent love or is it love? Is it love that's healthy, or is it I love you and I understand that we do crazy shit to one another? The idea of a reality check is taking inventory of what's actually there. And because how you do anything is how you do everything, a part of how, in my experience, you get out of limerence, fantasy thinking, reality checking, fantasy thinking and getting into reality checking rather, is by making sure your body is slowed down enough such that you can think rationally. Are you having real talks with other people not involved with your situation to get some form of a concrete look at something? I'm not talking about other friends. I'm talking about trained people who know how to look at people, like therapists, like coaches. Are you consulting content like Dr. Zeb, like Raise It Up Why, like ASAP Heidi, aka Heidi Preeb on YouTube? Are you checking your limerence? Are you checking your self-awareness? Are you being blinded by one of your shadows? Uh-oh. Are we doing shadow work? Are we looking at attachment wounding and healing in that regard? Any of these things can blur your vision. So how are you proving to yourself that when you're having a conversation, when you're having a disagreement with someone about something that you're actually disagreeing about the topic and not bank shotting off of past trauma and wounding. If the first response, hey, why did you behave that way? If the first response is a story about something that happened long ago, you're not in reality. You're in an ego story. Ta-da. Someone asks you, hey, why is that not working? Well, see, because they got me fucked up and da-da-da-da. Ego story, not reality. Fantasy. Limerence sometimes. But I'm making that distinction today on this episode so that people can start doing this thing that's been kicking niggas' asses all 2025, which is called taking accountability. Taking accountability. I've been healing the entire year. I know some of my shit's been off and I know a lot of my shit been on, but I'm not running from when my shit's been off, respectfully. You understand me? And for anyone who can only determine when someone else is off and can't tell you one thing about when they've been off, limerence, fantasy, sweet fantasy, baby. I don't take nothing personally because, as you'll learn in this Wyann's Words of Wisdom, I don't take none of this personally because I need you to know where folks win with me is that it's always love. Love is. That's a full sentence, by the way. Love is. Love is love. All there is in the world is love. You boil down any story worth telling, it equals love every time. With that said, when you recognize that some folks aren't capable of handling reality with you, Wyann's Words of Wisdom for episode 87 comes in. You keep the love the same. What you change is the access. You keep the love the same. You change the access. You can love long distance. With the way the internet and the World Wide Web works, there's no more roaming charges for long distance, not at least where I'm from. And if there is, stop calling people, use WhatsApp, right? Like there's ways around this, right? And I say that because as much as you would like to think that you need to be close with and to someone in order to love them, you don't. Love is. And love doesn't just exist. Love is all that exists. God is love. The creator of the universe is love. All of it is love. So keep that love. Stay aligned with love. Here's the other part. Just because you're aligned with love doesn't mean you keep yourself in harm's way. B.B. Winans has a song, in order to save me, in order to save the day, because of love you place yourself in harm's way. It's truly beyond me. I'm left without a word to say. Because of love you place yourself in harm's way. BB was talking about Jesus Christ, though. Can we keep it a stack? BB Winans was singing to, when he said, you kept yourself and you put yourself in harm's way, that's Jesus on the cross. Sacrificed, crucified for me. And I love that. That's, if you believe Christianly, if that's an adverb today, that's the gig. You align yourself with love such that you are covered by the grace of Jesus Christ's heroic and savoring act. So now, let's come back to hip hop. If Jay-Z said Hove did that, so hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. He didn't get that from nothing. Jesus says, no, I sacrificed myself such that you would have everlasting life and life more abundantly. I'm not asking you to go put yourself on a fucking skewer. That's in Ecclesiastes 13 and 13. But the vibe is, that's why Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was so important, especially the song that I love called Savior. The cat is out the bag. I am not your savior. I find it just as difficult to love my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Love thy neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs to, Braun made you, give him his flowers, but he is not your savior. Cole made you feel empowered, but he is not your savior. None of the celebrities, none of the people in your life. Ladies, if you think getting a husband or getting a man is going to save you from yourself, wrong. Niggas, well, gentlemen, if you think being with a woman is going to be your savior to having to deal with a bunch of kids that you created and, I can get married and then she's going to be there in the house to take care of all these responsibilities that I created, wrong. No, you have to understand that you are responsible for you, everything that comes with you. Your aura, what the kids say, your riz, clocked it, your ignorance, your education, your poverty, your richness and abundance, whatever comes with you, bro, congratulations, you're responsible for it. I was talking with somebody on Hinge, and it's someone I know in the music industry, so we only match with each other because it was like they didn't know nobody else on the app. And he said something about, yeah, I'm never going to find anyone on here because, I don't believe in this and I don't believe in that. I says, everything you believe, you get to keep 100% of. Ta-da. So if you come with a mindset that's defeatist, you get to keep all of your defeat. It's yours. Own it. Go grab your snack pack on the way out. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Because some people want to be saviored out of their desperation, out of their depression, out of their sadness, out of whatever it is. And it's like, no, that's not my gig, honey. That's your gig. Remember I said I couldn't breathe for you and you can't breathe for me? However, if you're taking your own breaths and I'm taking my own breaths, we can enjoy breathing together. We can enjoy that together. But in no way, shape, or form am I responsible for Onette's breath, and vice versa. I'm not responsible for your mindset either. If you believe, yeah, why fake? She don't really fuck with him, nigga, like in real life. Okay. You got to start thinking of your thoughts like you're talking to a genie. Access granted. And if you want to unlock all of the desperation that comes with thoughts like that, I have the responsibility now to change my access to you. Something I was saying at the top of the year. This would be some awful shit, but if you had a bucket of like watery shit, respectfully, and you just started pouring it in a circle of people, anybody whose shoes are too close will get the shit splatter on them. What does that mean? If somebody is going to continue to place themselves around shitty situations, you are liable to get some of that on you so long as your proximity and access stays the same. It's a very physical representation. That's why I'm like, it's pretty nasty, but it's a physical representation of what I'm saying. It is your responsibility to keep yourself safe. It is your responsibility to feel your feelings such that you are aware when you feel anger or disrespect and you understand, oh, wow, that's a limitation of my authenticity, aka I need to place a boundary right there. Hey, my respect is being compromised in this situation, even though all these people have the same DNA as me and they're my family and it's the holidays and I'm coming home and I bought everybody all the gifts and I paid for this and I did that and I was here and now niggas is talking reckless on me. Okay, cool. So much love. Thank you guys. I'm so happy that I got to see everybody. I just need it to be known when folks speak to me in a way that feels less than positive or less than functional, it feels really hurtful. So I have an option. Either we can continue to find better conversation around this dinner table, or I can find better company, respectfully. But I'm leaving here with my whole self the same way I came. Now, if you make a big, bold statement like that, it's up to you to keep it too. However, there is no obligation for you to stay in a place where people are committed to misunderstanding you. There is no obligation for you to stay around folks who are committed to not seeing you. Do what you got to do. And don't be a martyr about it. Don't do a whole diatribe. Don't try to tell everybody about it. Just do you. Y'all wouldn't know half the things I'm boycotting. I've never made a post about it because it's my business, not yours. Wyann's mind, wise mind, is wise business. I make decisions, I stick to them, I commit, and I push. Ta-da. You know what I'm saying? Do as much loving as I can throughout and around it, but also have fidelity and be honest to who I say I am. Ta-fucking-da, right? So, as you mull over this episode or listen to any of the previous, I want you to make sure you're having these boundaried considerations for yourself where you're recognizing that this love thing is real. Love culture is real. We are some real niggas in real life. Sometimes we all get along great. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye. That's okay. That's life, right? How do you get over a hurdle in life, especially if it involves another human? Communication. If you're not going to communicate, I don't know, maybe you could leave it broken. But no one has an obligation to stand next to broken glass because somebody can get cut. And if you value being safe, when you see somebody broken glass, bloody, pouring shit somewhere, you just kind of start backing up. The love stays. The access don't. Keep that in mind as you all are continuing your 2025. I pray it's the best year you've ever lived. It's unexpectedly one of mine. Let's get into some pay your dues, because before I get up and mother love and go, cause it's later than I anticipated. You didn't know I could do that. Own that. I know. Respect. It's September 13th. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew it was a 13. I got 13 on my mind. Number one, pay your dues as always at ILOVETHEDOUX at I Love the Do. And Wyann says more than you knew. My cousin Maya Smith is the founder and master of curl MC of thedo.com and all products in the do. Y'all know I only do my hair with her products because I was doing that before I had a podcast. Oh, Nat, your curls. This is just the foam? Not the honey one though, because that one I think weighs your hair down too much. The newest one? 808 one? No. I know. Bananas. Nope. That's not it. I can see it. It's in my closet right now. Oh my gosh. It's black. The blue and black. Thank you. Onette is looking right now because Onette has these immaculate curls. I just thought it was Mousse Def, but it's not. Because this new one, it actually has another thing in it too.
It's like, what is it? It's like double.
Yeah.
It has
More hold. Yeah.
but like,
Because your curls are more defined. This is day one here? Day two? It looks like day one. And shouts out to my boy Day One for no reason. Yeah, mine is day hair. That's an actual answer. When did I do this hair? Sunday? Chief Rocker. Oh, Chief Rocker number one. Chief Rocker. Boom, shakalaka. Here we go, son. Yeah, so you know my cousin's products are all named after hip hop things. So Chief Rocker is the curling foam that Onette has used in her hair. It looks really good. That's your favorite one?
Well, within the mousse, this is my favorite one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not too heavy. It's not too It's not too like the honey one.
Yeah, the honey one is. You said it was a little too heavy.
Yeah.
It weighed it down.
It's not like
It doesn't bounce like yours is bouncing right now. It looks good. And so mine is just, of course, the press play thermal system. I know I started wearing it curly for like 10 seconds and then, you know, LA. So, hello. Yeah, speaking of LA, y'all like my new chain? New chain, not 2 chains, because it's 3. It's 3 like the stripes on the Adidas. We getting live like we at the Mardi Gras. We getting live like we at the Mardi. Yo, I don't even know I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to go see Slum Village at the Blue Note when they come to LA. I want to say it's Monday, October 20. And so I was talking with the members of Slum Village and they was like, you want to hop on stage? I said, oh? It was like, you like Climax, right? I'm like, oh, like, whew. So my bad. This is Pay Your Dues is the portion of the podcast where I share with you businesses and people I think you should know. I get paid from none of this. All of this is off of favor. All of this is because I believe in the people, period. So just so you all know, that's why I love doing this segment of the pod, because no one obligates me to do any of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? There could be a day when things change and there's sponsorships on this pod, and I think I still will have sponsorships in a different space than I would the Pay Your Due section, because this is what I do for my heart. You know what I'm saying? However, as I went on to that whole thing about Slum Village, OPA_collections, OPA Collections is a jewelry space right here in sunny Los Angeles, California, owned by my girl P. This is a woman entrepreneur. This is a woman of faith entrepreneur. This is a Latina, beautiful, brown owned woman of faith entrepreneurship that grew so rapidly that she started with one space, and I believe now she's had about 3, because she's building a 3rd space that she will be opening. But the Citadel location and the Ontario Mills location are probably the most steady that you can go to, and visit at OPA_collections. As you can see, my gold pieces here, my 14 karat gold pieces on my neck are my favorite things. I have 18 karat rings of hers that I wear, and her new line is in this bracelet here. She has affordable prices. She's been in business for 5 years and has never raised her prices. I thought that was pretty interesting. She said, I stand by what I stand by, and they come with 5-year warranties when you purchase any of her pieces. The individuals that she hires are they're like earth angels. So shouts out to those beautiful ladies as well. Cara especially. Of course, my Julia, but she's about to go off to college. So I'm shouting her out, but you won't get to meet my baby girl because she's going to college. I'm so proud of her. However, Cara, like our Miss Cara J in Love Culture already, shouts out to y'all. I love you. And yeah, they made my belly chain. I'm telling the secrets. Boo over here. Well, a certain man here. Anyway, yeah, there's other pieces that y'all can't see. But yeah, OPA_collections is an incredible space, and once again, Latina owned, female owned, and faith owned jewelry that makes you feel beautiful as you support this wonderful space. That is number 2 on Pay Your Dues. Number 3, I'm wearing on my crown chakra. Hello. Adrian Davis now, at Adrian Davis now. Just say it and it'll come up. This gentleman happens to be a friend of my friend on Threads. His name is Mr. Howard. I want to say 365 is the end of his handle. And Mr. Howard is someone I have known for a long time because we used to write around Los Angeles and like writing camps for like artists and stuff like that, like since the early 2000s. So he was like, yeah, your sister, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like it, life, guys, we're in our 40s here. So I supported this beautiful hat collection that Adrian does for literally his heart. Like he enjoys doing these creative things. He's an actor. He's a photographer. He is producing for a comedian that is about to come out with his own podcast. I don't know if that's public knowledge yet, so I can't say. I won't say. I'm no snitch, no 6ix9ine. And so yeah, the idea is though that these hats are just his labor of love and things that he loves to do. So please hit up at Adrian Davis now if you're interested in one of these blinged out LA hats. Well, I'm the LA girl. He can make it out of any hat, by the way, of course. So I just thought it was great because Paulette and the Opa collections have the LA, and then I have my LA hat. I was like, oh, who am I? A whole thing, she says. It's crazy because I actually know the owner of this next business too, at Haroni.arrangements, with the vibes all the time over here. This to the left of me, right of you if you're looking on. This arrangement, I said I want something with some brown, something with some coral, and something that's going to make me think of fall, even as it's like handing off from summer. And you gave me exactly what I asked for. And I say you because the owner of Haroni Arrangements is right behind that camera. Onet_ Ashe is the creative and the owner and the founder of at Haroni Arrangements. And I can't stop looking at this thing. I like this one a lot. I really like this. And I like adding those to up here. Yeah. So it makes me very happy. Number 5, shouting out love culture all over the globe. We have a worldwide following from this podcast in South America and Europe, Australia, Miss R.L. James and JF Musics and Dan Berjagno. So we have all these members of Love Culture that are all literally over the world. And we have Habesha right here. Boop. You got to meet my Habesha student. Yeah. Okay. So when you come to class next time, and I told them that you were there and I forgot to make the connection at the end of class. But yes, so always shouts out to Love Culture in and of itself. And Wyann's Words of Wisdom is the www, but also at the top of the year, today is 9/13. On 1/13, I released my first ebook that is not poetry, and it is A Woman Winning in the West. Look, Onet started going, and so I started like celebrating. I just stopped talking, my bad. A Woman Winning in the West is 13 lessons on how to have legacy in this entertainment business as a lady. I think I have a unique space in the industry, and I think you can learn some stuff from there. If you've already listened you've already read it because you've supported, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Write a review anywhere you can find to write a review. That would also help the movement. Also, I think by the time you all are hearing this episode, Ending Summer, the EP, is out. Shouts out to L7 Hayes of the Yarders as well as Boomer Did It. We have been working on something for the last couple weeks, and this EP is something I'll talk more about next episode. But just so you know, please go look in your iTunes, look in your stores where you can support and purchase as well as stream music. You should be seeing that I have a new EP, Ending Summer, out now. And if the visuals aren't out, they are about to be out. And I'm looking very forward to shooting. Onette is already in the know. Last and never least, let's say at Raise It Up Y on all platforms. I'm proud of the girl that created Raise It Up Y. You're hearing her voice right now if you didn't know about it. I'm proud of this girl. I'm proud of who she's become throughout this year. I'm proud of her breaking up with limerence and learning what reality looks like in her world with every relationship, because she's doing it with and for and to herself first. I feel proud of the ownership and the accountability that the voice you're hearing possesses. I love that I don't get everything right, and I won't continue to get everything right, because I dig into this human thing a lot. And I'm okay with recognizing that my humanity is going to fuck with a lot of the perfectionism that I was taught is the way to be. That's real humanity. That's a real Wyann. The Wyann that hustles hard and accomplishes and does and maintains and ascends, and that's true, because every living thing evolves. I got that. And also, Wyann cries. And also, Wyann has feelings, and her feelings can get really hurt. And not hurt because someone passed away. Hurt because someone chose not to stay. That can hurt too. And that hurt is real. And I can feel depressed, and that's real. Onette will tell you, we're ending this taping at almost 2 a.m. because I couldn't find the energy. Deadass, right? Let's be transparent here at the end of this episode. I didn't feel it tonight. I didn't feel it for a myriad of reasons that don't need to be discussed publicly, but my way of integrating wise mind was feeling the tired, feeling the I don't fucking want to do it, and also saying, now, Wyanna, if you were licensing this to a network and you knew that you had an obligation monetarily to do this, to pay your bills monthly, would you find the energy? My answer was, of course. And so if you would treat it that seriously for someone else, you have to treat it that seriously for you. And that's where the rationale came. And I made some concessions. I don't have on lashes. I put on Adrian's hat. I don't got to get these edges right. I've been in saunas all this week. I've been working my ass off. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like that. Onette was like, then don't do it. I was like, you're right. Like, I took time. I cooked for us. I said, no, let's go slow. Let's go. And I have to say, it also really helps to have a partner like Onette, who allows me to be myself, who allows me to come undone, who doesn't need me to be perfect to be in relationship with me, who doesn't condemn me for not getting everything right, especially when I lead with, hey, I'm not going to get everything right. And then I go on to get a lot of things right after. When I now, come on, now, hold on, hey, hold on now, let me put my girdle on. No. But in real life, I tell people I'm not going to be perfect, and because I don't mess up often, I think people forget that I lead with my imperfection. And fuck whether I claim my imperfection, nigga, I'm a human bitch. I am human. I don't care what getting it right a lot looks like. your poster child for perfection, please go find Jesus Christ or some other deity to put that shit on. It's not Wyann. I'm going to get things wrong. And I need to know that I can get things wrong and still be in a meaningful relationship with someone who can see a flaw in my behavior, in my judgment, in my tone, and still see worthiness in me. Because that's what I give other people. That's what I always do with, to, and for other people. And if someone doesn't see that that's who I am or how I am, once again, I got to create that distance, because you will be the person that will say some mean shit that can get your dome rocked in a different timeline, right? Not Wyann today, in a different timeline. But in real life, I be wanting to be human with other humans. If that's not online for you, you don't got to do nothing. I will respectfully learn to remove that access to and from you. Period. So I feel like I just did Wyann's words of wisdom again. This is the end of the episode, y'all. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, for being a part of this, for loving, living, and learning with me, with Onette. Remember Dr. Zeb. Remember Love Culture. Remember that we have 7 years that we are building into this thing called Raise It Up Why. Thank you for being with us on this journey. Stay royal.
Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up.